Hey, really good at camera diagnostics. I've been getting emails from people, but also been looking very deeply into what Nikon themselves have been telling customers on their affected serial number, Nikon and Z6 and Z7 cameras to be sent in for recall. Specifically, Nikon has told more than several people, quote unquote, to look for image distortion like you would see on a hot day. This, of course, would be the heat shimmer. Like, for example, on a really hot day, you would actually get nasty distortion on hot pavement, for example. This sort of jelly distortion can only come from three sources. One would be a defective IBIS mech. Number two would be a harmonic with shutter speed in conjunction with the IBIS mechanism. And number three would be an issue where the lens OIS, if it is an OIS lens, or specifically in Nikon's case, a VR lens. OIS and VR is the exact same thing, where specific element or element groups within inside the lens are adjusted for image stabilization, working in conjunction with the in-body image stabilization that corrects on the sensor side. So Nikon is telling people to look for image distortion like you would see on a hot day, i.e. the lines you would see in heat shimmer. So those are the only three sources of that to be generated. Harmonic interference with the shutter speed. Number two would be a defective IBIS mech. And number three would be an issue with X lens and its vibration reduction working in conjunction or counteractively with the in-body image stabilization inside the Nikon Z6 or Z7. Ironically enough, of course, I might mention to you that if the Z6 and Z7 did not have IBIS, this issue never would have reared its head. It is an absolute fact, and this, of course, has been Canon's contention for so many years, and Canon is absolutely correct, that lens image stabilization is always superior to sensor stabilization. It's simple physics and geometry. The further out you actually place the image stabilization, the better it works. Image stabilization at the plane of where the image is taken, i.e. the sensor, is nowhere near as good as image stabilization taken much further out from the plane of the plane of the image, i.e. the sensor. So VR and OIS, which are all the one and the same thing, are of course always superior. But that's off topic, but it's interesting to make note of that, as the countless videos that I've made telling people why I don't like VR. If the Z6 and Z7 did not have a VR, this issue never would have reared its head. But those are the only three sources for generating the issue that Nikon is telling its customers to look out for. Look for image distortion like you would see on a hot day, i.e. heat shimmer lines. And there are only three sources for that. Shutter harmonic issues, being an interference in conjunction with IBIS, defective IBIS, and number three, issues where lens VR is working counteractively relative to sensor VR. Sensor VR, of course, is what we call IBIS. The one thing that I've been unable to get through anybody's head all these many years, and this is an issue with people and Fujifilm lenses, because the default is OIS mode 1, which means image stabilization is always on, and invariably people will think like the 100 to 400 millimeter lens, the Fujifilm lens, is defective. They will go out and shoot like birds on a bright sunny day. They'll be up in 1/500th of a second. And they don't realize that the image stabilization is constantly on. Well, the same thing that eliminates out vibration also causes vibration, because shake is shake is shake is shake. What's the difference between shake and shake and shake? Well, shake is shake, and shake is also shake. And shake is also exactly the same thing as shake. the one thing designed to eliminate outshake, be it lens stabilization, OIS or VR, both the same thing, or sensor IBIS shake to eliminate outshake, are themselves also shake mechanisms. I mean, what do you think OIS and VR is? It's shaking internal elements or groups inside the lens to counteract shake. What do you think IBIS is? It's literally a dancing sensor. It is shaking. People don't seem to get the very, very simplex physics that shake is shake is shake. And the very same thing that is designed to eliminate shake in instances will, of course, also cause shake. And I can't say that enough, and nobody seems to understand it. It's like, what's the difference between shake and shake and shake? Let me think about that one. There is no difference. Shake is shake. If it's working, that's great. Well, this shake eliminated out my shake. It's great. I was able to take a shot in dimly lit situations at 1/10 of a second, for example. Oh, that's great. But that mechanism also causes shake and can induce image distortion. But those are the only three sources for the issue that Nikon has issued a recall on. There are no other sources for that. Defective IBIS mech, shutter harmonic issues, or IBIS and lens VR conjunction working counterintuitively to one another and inducing shake, or what Nikon calls look for distortion like heat shimmer. They didn't use the word heat shimmer, but they said look for image distortion like you would see on a hot day, which is heat shimmer. So I hope that clarifies things, because the more information you have, the better. That's right.